Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Berean. And Warner Brothers has canceled the upcoming Wonder Woman video game, and it gets worse. Now, I've made a few videos on this that the Warner Brothers their gaming empire is collapsing in on itself. With the failure of multiverses, so Suicide Squad versus Kills the Justice League. They're just slowly they really are. And the problem is they've got so many good properties, but honestly, so many bad decisions were made that, yes, Sweet Baby Inc. is definitely responsible for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League being terrible in its writing. You got to give credit to the games studio, Rocksteady, for also making it look terrible. It just looked bad. I mean, for a AAA game, it looked a decade behind, at least. And they just uglified so many characters. It was just ridiculous. It's almost like sometimes even like Captain Boomerang, you'd forget who he was just through play. You're like, wait, who's that? Oh, that's Captain I mean, he was just altered so much you forgot who he was. So yeah, they've decided to cancel their studio's game, Monolith Studios, Wonder Woman. And I was really excited for it because the Arkham games are incredible. And for whatever reason, another huge miss with WB is they said, okay, we're going to make a new Arkham game, but it's going to be solely exclusive to the Meta Quest. That sounds great. And they probably got a lot of money for that exclusive rights to the Meta Quest. And here's the problem. There's about 20 million units sold of the Meta Quest. And statistically speaking, according to the numbers, about a third are actually players that play it at least once a month. Versus console gamers, PC gamers that would play it weekly, if not daily. They just blew a huge chance to make a lot of money by not having the newest version of the Arkham franchise available to anywhere but the Meta Quest. So WB just had so many problems. It's just, it baffles me. It really does. And what baffles me is that they are shutting down Monolith Studios. It's going away. And Monolith Studios also created the Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor series, which I haven't played, but I did pick them up on Steam during the Winter Festival sale. So I've got both of them, just haven't played them yet because they looked fantastic. And I've watched some people watch some gameplay on YouTube, and I'm like, yes, I need to play these games. And they're on my list. It's just, I got a huge backlog, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of games I've got on my backlog, but I should be playing these within the next 6 months and hopefully finishing them. But so I'm excited to play those, but we won't get any more from that series now because Monolith Studios is being shut down by Warner Brothers. But Rocksteady, who produced Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, is still alive and kicking. And it's also rumored that Rocksteady is also working on another Batman game. Now, this is a bad decision in the sense that the last Batman universe we got, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, I mean, it's supposed to be part of the Arkham series. You know, it's telling the dark path from the comic books. And yes, they failed miserably. No one liked it. The numbers don't lie. Everyone's real excited, and the only good peak it had after the big drop off after the first 2 weeks was when they did an update that brought the Joker in, and that peak lasted 2 days. So, hey, we got it. Oh, we have to do all this crazy stuff to get, it was another debacle by Rocksteady. And this studio did such a bad job, was influenced so heavily by an outside company saying, no, this is what your game needs, not what, all these people that played the Arkham games say they want. You should listen to us because we know better and we have we're morally superior to everybody else, so you should listen to what we say and make this game better. And they tanked it. They did. They should have never hired SBI. They should have never listened to them, and they tanked their game. But the studio that made it is getting another chance at Batman, and we are not getting a Wonder Woman game, a Wonder Woman standalone game, which would have been awesome. Seriously. I mean, Wonder Woman's bad to the bone. I'm sorry. She's one of those iconic, just tough as nails, but humane, just deeply human, deeply emotional, but she can kick tail. She's just a great character. And to have a standalone game where you're flying around in your visible jet, running around Themyscira, you're beating off Cheetah and the Rogue Galleries, the Villainy Incorporated, and you're just going to town beating the living snot out of all these bad guys as Wonder Woman. I mean, it's almost hard to mess that up, but nope. Warner Brothers says, nope, we're canceling that game. We're closing the studio, and we're giving another shot to the studio that ruined Suicide Squad and the Arkham series. We're going to give them another shot at Batman, because our last Batman decision, which was an exclusive to, what is that number? 4 million people at most actively. If everyone that's active on it plays the Arkham game on the MetaQuest, we're talking peak 4 million. And a lot of people that have them and play them regularly are not playing that game. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game, but it's not something that I'm going to sit around with a VR headset on and play all the time. I'm just not. I've talked about it before. VR is cool, but it's never going to be my primary system. Ever. So, yes, we get boom. So many bad decisions with DC games, I should say. It's just, I don't know what they're doing. And we lost so much with the chance to go to Mordor and to Middle Earth again. So that's gone. And Monolith Studios makes beautiful, gorgeous, well-crafted, well-written games. And that studio gets shut down, and Rocksteady continues on its destructive path to destroy many games we love, and I'm sick of it. But I'm mad that we're going to lose more. I mean, seriously, yeah, I got my Lord of the Rings shirt on. It's like, yeah, I got my Lord of the Rings shirt on. And got my Mordor shirt. Can't talk today, but that's okay. And I mean, these are just so many bad decisions rolled into one thing. I mean, I would have picked it up for sure. Absolutely. Maybe not day one because of my backlog, but I definitely would have picked it up soon. Because just the thought of running around as Wonder Woman and just pick any of her storylines from the comics, I'm in. As long as it's not 1984, Wonder Woman 84. That's the only way you could go wrong with the game, is if you tried to make the game based off the second Wonder Woman movie. That's the only way you could do this wrong, I think. And don't know who's in charge of WB Gaming anymore. The last guy is stepping down. I'm not sure they've officially named the new person taking over for him. I made a video on that about a month ago that he's stepping down, and these decisions are continuing to roll out of just all this stuff. They got rid of the good studio and kept the crappy one alive. Why? I don't know, but we just have to lament that we aren't going to have fun playing a standalone Wonder Woman game. And I think that's a loss for gamers everywhere, because we haven't had a good standalone Wonder Woman video game since, I think there was in the SNES era. I feel like that. I feel like mid-90s. I need to look that up. But I mean, there hasn't been like a definitely in this level of graphics. I think we may have had one in like 16 or 32-bit era, but nothing modern. And that would have been great. I would have loved it. I mean, just here, right here, whoop, that way. Just that art alone. I mean, the realistic concept art of just her face, the look, the outfit that matches what we've seen in the movies, and just, I'm like, okay, they're rendering her like she looks like Wonder Woman. This is good. You got the lasso of truth just flying around. I mean, everything just says, yes, let's get the Wonder Woman game. And now we'll never get it. At least not from Monolith, that's for sure. And we may get one way down the future from some other studio that licensed the Wonder Woman property from Warner Brothers. But let's be honest, I'm not holding my breath at all. We could have had something really cool, and they've messed it up. They have. And what are we going to do about it? Nothing. All we can do is just lament it. And that's a sad day. We've lost Wonder Woman. Warner Brothers just doesn't know what they're doing or what they should be doing when it comes to gaming. Almost like they should get out of gaming and just sell the licenses to studios that know how to make games instead of buying studios. And here's the problem. This is a bigger issue from other things, is people are like, oh, well, I love this game because it's from this video game company that they've made games I love in the past, and I love them. And they've got this new game coming out. Well, see, the problem with that is that's true. That there are people that love, like, pretty much it's hard. I mean, for a while, you couldn't tell me that Square Enix was ever going to put out a bad RPG. Just, you couldn't convince me of it. But, and other studios are like that. Other people got their studio. They're like, this is the one. Man, when they put out a game, I'm in. But the people that created those games, almost assuredly now, less than 10% of the developers and writers that made those games are still with the company. Less than 10%. They've either gone to other studios, they've gone out on their own and created their own studios, they've become indie developers, they've done other things, they've gone into management. 90% of the people that made the games you love aren't making the games you love for their former studios. So now we can't be like, oh yeah, it's a Monolith game. It's got to be 100%. I'm 100% in. And that's what it kind of sounds like I'm saying I was previously. But with the track record of Monolith, most of those devs are still there. Well, were until they shut down the studio. Rocksteady, I think less than 5% of the devs that were there 10 years ago are still there now. So, yeah, it's like, yes, a studio does great and they do this, but they lost the people that made the product. So now that studio name is meaningless. And that's kind of what I think WB's going through. I think they probably thought, what studio has the most name recognition? Well, Rocksteady. It does have the most name recognition. Not all positive, I promise you. But most people wouldn't know off the top of their head Monolith Studios, but they would remember Rocksteady. Is it just the name recognition or the fact that Rocksteady has made a wide variety of games and a lot of people have heard the name? So it has more name recognition, and that's probably why they're keeping it. But you got to remember, the devs that made the games that you love with Rocksteady aren't there anymore. They're not. As Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League has proven to us. Yet, when they are on track to release their new game with the Batman IP again, we will see just how far they have fallen. And that will probably be a dark, dark day, I have to admit. So, so sorry. It's a bad news day. And I just wish we would have got it, because I believe it could have been good. I could be wrong, but this is one of those games that when I knew about it, I knew it was in production, I was like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. And I felt confident that the game would be good. Even though Warner Brothers was the parent company. I was like, we got the Shadow of Mordor series, and it's just, yeah, I mean, those were good games. And if the studio keeps doing what they're doing like that, man, there's no bad track record with Monolith. So there's no reason to doubt it. Now we'll never get it. So sad day for Wonder Woman fans out there, and for gamers that probably would have truly loved this game. I mean, seriously. Because with their Monolith engine that they were using, I forget what it's called now, would have been incredible, powering Wonder Woman's graphics and gameplay that would have made it feel like a step into the world of Wonder Woman, like we feel when we play the Arkham series and we step into the world of Batman. So Warner Brothers has made a terrible decision, and we have to live with it. So until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.